If you need unlimited domination, clutch time, or anything else grinded, make sure you hit up Rose NBA on Twitter for quick, safe, and reliable grinding services.
Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be doing episode number 12 of I Build Your Teams, a series where I build my viewers' teams into the best teams possible for my team unlimited and or competitive play based on how much MT they have and what their squad is currently looking like. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 8,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day. I would really appreciate your support if you haven't already, if you do subscribe. Back to uploading more current content. I know the last few days have just been the top 10 ranking videos because I was out of town in Maryland, but I'm back now and we'll be uploading through Christmas back to the normally scheduled content. So appreciate y'all putting up with these trips the last few weeks and me being sick and all those things, but we're right back at it. So let's get back to work. But first team today comes in from Starzy. He says he's going to save some MT. He's selling Dwight, thinking about putting Tim on the bench and starting Ricky. I would not personally do that. I like the way your team is set up a lot right now, and in fact I think your 1 through 4s are very good. I would probably change some things up just slightly, but in all honesty, I don't think I'd be selling anybody besides Dwight. I'm cool with selling Dwight for sure. The way that I'd be running this team though is starting Penny, Jimmy, Tim, Giannis, and KP together, and then off the bench going with something along the lines of Magic, Ricky, PG, Anthony Davis at the 4, and Kareem at the 5, or vice versa. If you want to start AD and Kareem, bring Giannis and KP off the bench. But in my opinion, I think that's the best 10-man you can run. I don't think AD at the 5 is bad by any means, but I don't absolutely love AD at the 5. I think he's better at the 4, and I think you would be optimizing your lineup a bit if you do run KP and Kareem as your 5s and Giannis and AD as your 4s. That's my personal opinion, but I personally wouldn't go out of my way to actually try to buy new players and things like that. And I do think selling a guy like Dwight is a good idea because he's worth a lot of MT still, and he doesn't need to be in this lineup is what I'd say. So I really like your team a lot though. I would just be swapping around the way that it's ordered just a bit, and you're gonna have one of the best squads in the game. Second team today comes from KJ. He's got 150,000 MT. Says he hasn't touched season 3. He's got DeJounte Murray, Donovan Mitchell, Jimmy Butler, Eddie Jones, PG, Pippen, KD, Worthy, Hakeem, and Embiid. For me personally, definitely think the first thing you need to be looking for is upgrading your MT, adding more MT, and the easiest way to do that is going to be to replace KD and Hakeem. Very easily. You can replace Hakeem with a guy like Kristaps Porzingis, who's significantly cheaper and much better. Or I wouldn't say much better. That's not a true statement, but I think he's as good as Hakeem anyway. I wouldn't say he's better or worse. If you get one of the extra hoffs, he's better than Hakeem, but as a base card, he's probably not. He's probably about on the similar level as Hakeem, but I would say that I would easily make that swap just to save a bunch of MT. Probably would be looking to upgrade DeJounte Murray to a guy like Lonzo Ball, or if you wanted to go with a cheaper option, you go with a guy like Alex Caruso. Just having that defensive PG would be nice. You could also look for more of a scoring PG as well, but for me personally, I would be adding a PG with size and defense like Alonzo, who also is a capable scorer. KD's just not that incredible to 4. I don't think he's bad by any means. Now, in terms of who I'd replace him with, I'm not 100% sure. I have to actually look and see what this new Giannis is looking like at the power forward position, because I'll be honest, I have not been quite as in tune as I probably should be recently with the way these new cards have been coming out. So if this new Giannis, this Diamond Giannis, is really good, I think he's an option for sure. If he's not, I mean, you're looking at a guy with a 71 3-ball, 89 speed and excel, good defender, really good defensive hoffs, 90 driving dunk, hoff bully, better shooter. This is going to, I don't know, man. This might be the 4 that I'd be looking to pick up. For your team, I think you go with Diamond Giannis and James Worthy as your 4s, and then you have KP and Embiid as your 5s. It's just going to save you a lot of MT, and I really think that's going to help you towards later in Season 3 when we get more budget cards and more guys to upgrade your lineup with. So for me personally, those are probably the 2 guys I'd be looking to add, are KP and Giannis to replace KD and Hakeem, because they're going to save you a significant amount of MT and still keep you with a really solid squad. Third team today comes in from Hook on Spicy. He says he's just started playing my team, only got 15k MT. And he says he can sell Jarrett for a little bit more MT. Now, my thing with a team like this, when you have this limited MT, is you really want to focus on your 5-man lineup so that you can grind modes like Clutch Time Online and Triple Threat Online, as well as obviously all the offline modes, which really don't require super high card tiers. But I would basically, in all honesty, pretty much sell everything that you have that's auctionable in your lineup right now, and guys like Jordan Clarkson, Desmond Bain, Danny Green, Zaire Williams, Zion, Jared Allen, all those guys are auctionable. All those guys I would be selling, and I would be doing that to build something along this lineup. At the 1, I think you go with a guy like Alex Caruso. I think he's just the best budget PG in the game because of his defense. At the 2, maybe you go with a guy like Diamond Kobe Bryant. I think that's a good option. At the 3, who do you have at the 3 currently? Do you have anybody you can actually play the 3, not really. I'm not sure who is the best budget 3 you could add right now. I'm not even entirely sure. We'll come back to the 3 in just a second. But Giannis at the 4 and Embiid at the 5 is going to be just fine. By the time y'all are seeing this as well, there's a good chance we'll have gotten a couple new moments cards because of a couple of things. Like there's a chance to get a moments Anthony Davis. So between the time that I'm recording this video and when y'all actually see it tomorrow on Monday. So if that card came out, that's the type of card I would definitely be looking to add to the team as well, because he's obviously going to be a beast. And then at the 3, I'm not entirely sure who you would be looking to add in my personal opinion right now. I think at the small forward, your best budget options are going to be maybe a guy like Rudy Gay. I think that's a really, really solid option, this new Rudy Gay card. I mean, animations are amazing. You could go get Corey McGetty, and I would knock out his takeover grind because it is really quite simple. I would make sure to knock him out and I get him added onto the squad. Outside of that, I don't think you have a ton of super good budget options right now because the takeover players aren't really available right now, like guys like Danny Manning and Dennis Rodman. So if you could scoop a guy like Rudy Gay, if you have the MT to throw him in there, that'd be great. If you can get Corey McGetty, he's another good option. But if you could build something along this type of lineup, which I think you probably pretty reasonably can do if you sell all of your auctionable players, this type of 5-man lineup is going to give you a team capable of playing Clutch Time Online, Triple Threat Online, basically playing every mode except for Unlimited and winning consistently, and using that to build up more rewards, make more MT, things like that. You could then start to grind for a trophy case player or two, because they've made trophy case players super easy to add now, which means you could start to add guys like James Worthy to your lineup, maybe a Russell Westbrook, and that will really help to continue to benefit your squad and start growing your squad in the right direction. Now, 14 today comes in from Rafe. He's got 600,000 MT. He says he replaced KG with PD Giannis, which is going to give him a really, really good team for sure. I mean, this team is absolutely money. You got Penny, you got Ron Artest, Braun, Dwight, Kareem, Lonzo, Kobe, Tim Thomas, KG, Hakeem, John Wall, Paul George, and Magic. And that's an incredible team for sure. Now, I still think you'd be better off saving some MT by selling guys like John Wall and PG who aren't in your lineup. I would rearrange this lineup as well. I'd start Kobe, I'd start Tim, and I would bring LeBron off of the bench as the backup 3. I'd sell Artest, and I'd bring Ricky Davis off the bench as the backup 2. I'd pick your two favorite point guards between Penny, Lonzo, and Magic, and play those 2 as your PGs. Sell the 3rd one. I just think freeing up that MT by being able to sell those 3 players is going to help you out a lot. Sell Artest, pick up Ricky Davis, and then finally, I would also probably look to swap KP in for Hakeem as your backup center. Maybe you go something like a 10-man that looks something along the lines of Penny, Kobe, Tim. You could have Giannis at the 4 and KP at the 5. And then off the bench, you have one of Lonzo or Magic. You have Ricky Davis, LeBron, Dwight at the 4. And then you could go with somebody like Kareem at the 5, I think would be the best 5 that you could run currently. But if you build that 10-man, you're going to save a lot of MT. You already still have one of the best teams in the game. I think that's just going to continue that in having the best team in the game, or really close to what you could consider the best team in the game. Maybe you're grinding for trophy case players, you're grinding for an Opal AD as well, which allows you to sell Dwight and free up even more MT. But I think just the biggest thing for you is just making sure you're not wasting MT on spots on players who aren't going to improve your lineup, I guess, and also adding a guy like Ricky Davis will help you a lot, as well as probably Kristaps Porzingis. Now, 5th team today comes in from Live. He's got 13,000 MT. He's got Russ, Caruso, which I actually like this point guard duo a lot. I don't mind that at all. Chris Middleton, Jaylen Brown, I don't love that. Pippen is fine. Ron Artest is okay. Pink Diamond Giannis. I like Pink Diamond. Oh, no, I think this is the Diamond Giannis, the dynamic duo, actually, with Chris Middleton. So, I'm not certain. Is this Chris Middleton? If this Chris Middleton isn't auctionable, which I'm not entirely sure, I think this may actually be the unauctionable Pink Diamond from the Thanksgiving event. Which, if that's the case, I mean, I don't mind him, especially with the duo with Giannis. He's not bad. But then you have Ewing, Kareem is your backup center, who's very expensive but very good. Kevin McHale is really good. The way that I'd probably rearrange this lineup to start with would be moving Kyle Kuzma to the backup 3 and McHale to the backup 4, and then you could have Kareem and Ewing as your 5 still. Giannis and Middleton as a duo isn't bad either. I think you will benefit from adding another 2, whether that's a guy like Ty and Kobe Bryant. That will help you out a lot, I think. You're not going to have a ton of MT, though, so if you have the ability to sell this Chris Middleton, which I don't know if he's auctionable, but if he is auctionable, definitely sell him. That will help you to free up some MT for sure, if possible, but if not, that's totally fine. And I think if you don't have him auctionable, having him with his duo with Giannis makes them both better, and will definitely be a nice little duo there. But yeah, biggest thing right now, I think, is moving Kuzma to the 3, McHale to the 4, and picking up up another 2, maybe a budget guy like a Diamond Kobe is a great option. And then just working on saving some MT, continuing to grind trophy case stuff to add some new players, maybe adding a guy like James Worthy in the fold, working towards Anthony Davis will help you out as well. But overall, pretty solid squad, like what I'm seeing. Ant-Man has 600k on current for the second to last team of the video. He's got Pink Diamond Steph, which I don't know about at this point. But then he's got Kobe, Magic, Ricky Davis, Paul George, LeBron, Zion, James Worthy, Dwight, and Kareem. You have Pink Diamond Giannis at the end of the bench. Oh no, that's the duo again between Chris Middleton and Giannis, which in all honesty I probably wouldn't force at this point. But what I would probably do is play Worthy and Diamond Giannis as your fours and sell Zion. That's the first easy upgrade. The second easy upgrade is selling Magic and buying a guy like Penny Hardaway, selling Steph, buying a guy like Penny Hardaway and selling Gary Payton as well. So sell Zion, sell Steph, sell Gary Payton. Get those 3 guys out of your lineup. Make the MT that you can. You're going to be way over $1 million at that point. You could even consider locking in Tim Thomas if you wanted to. You already have Kareem. You're going to have to buy DeMar, who I know is super expensive, but he is the best player in the game still and probably will be for the foreseeable future. The biggest thing for me is buying another PG, probably a Penny Hardaway, and having Penny as Magic as your PGs. Kobe and Ricky as your 2s is great. PG and Bron as your 3s is going to be great. If you don't want to lock in Tim, you go with Giannis and James Worthy as your 4s, and then probably sell Dwight and be around KP and Kareem as your 5s. That's the team that I'd be looking to build. You're going to save a ton of MT, have a ton more MT going towards future seasons, and that 10-man is much better, in my opinion, than the 10-man that you're running currently. So that's just what I'd be looking to do with this squad. Then the last team today comes in from Cal. He's got 820,000 MT, says he's getting Dark Matter Tim Duncan really, really soon. When you get Tim Duncan, throw him in at that 4, bring AD off the bench, sell Josh Smith. I mean, Josh Smith should already be sold, in my opinion. I don't think he's worth the MT unless it is the unauctionable Josh Smith, which is possible. And if that's the case, he's fine. I just still don't think he has a spot in your team once you get Tim Duncan. Your biggest position of need is easily your center position. It's the only position that I'd actually be spending MT to upgrade, since you already have 2 elite optional point guards and the rest of your team is filled out with a ton of amazing reward cards. But I'd be adding Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Kristaps Porzingis. Then you can have Tim and AD as your 4s, Kareem and KP as your 5s. At that point, still going to have probably close to 500,000 MT, or maybe even a bit more, and a really, really good team. So biggest thing for me is just adding a couple centers in here, especially once you get Tim. You can throw him and AD as your 4s, and I think your team is already really, really good. Love the way that you have all these free cards filling in spots from your 2 to 4, especially. I think the 5 and the 1 are the most important positions on your team, and that's why you want to have those elite level auctionable players. But I really do like this team already, and I think once you add those 5s, you're going to have an amazing, amazing squad. So that is going to do it for today's I Build Your Teams episode. If you want to be involved in the future episode, make sure you follow me on Twitter and be on the lookout for a tweet about this series. I'll be going back to tweeting about this on Friday night, so look for that tweet and drop your team below there to be included in the video. And if you did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.